Freestyle Travel. Hey everybody, Kenny Flannery here, your host as always of the Freestyle Travel Show. I'm coming to you from Georgia, just outside of Turkey, the country of Georgia, not the state, if you're from the United States. Not to be confused. Having a good time. The last episode I was in Cyprus. This episode I'm going to talk mostly about hitchhiking through Turkey, which was a pretty good time. Pretty awesome, actually. Generous people taking me in, some potato farmers, showing me some good times, stopping in a few spots, getting Georgia. So, yeah, pretty good. So, I'll tell you all about that. Got some trip hopping stuff to update you on as well. You guys have been listening, know I'm getting obsessed with just making trip hopping better. And yeah, I can't mention trip hopping almost without mentioning Magic Mind, which is a little dranky drink, sort of 1 or 2 ounce mental performance shot I was taking when I started getting back into getting trip hopping going again back in October of last year. So Magic Mind, it is a sponsor of the show, I will say that, but they wouldn't be if I didn't care about them. It's just a little drink you can drink with caffeine, gets you super focused. I really liked it. To get back into coding again, just to say the least, is not a small task. And Magic Mind really helped me, so I would hope it would help you. And this month, I gotta look. I'm looking at it right now. They're giving a special sort of discount for y'all. But let me mention some of the ingredients real quick. I'll get into the trip hopping and Georgia stuff. Some of the ingredients in this Magic Mind stuff: turmeric. They got adaptogens and lion's mane and ashwagandha, some stuff. This is adaptogens and nootropics and just good stuff to get your mind working. The more you take, the longer you take it, the better it works. It's just a good little dranky drink. It feels good. I don't know, something about just taking a shot, you know, especially with your coffee. It just makes it feel like bonus. So it's just like a beer and a shot. Let's be honest. Like if you're at the bar and you've got a beer and then it's like someone offers you a shot of whiskey, you're like, okay, so you're gonna make this better? Hell yeah. But this isn't like a drunky drunk. This is super focus kind of situation. So I recommend it. I'm just looking at one of these ingredients here. I got like the little data sheet in front of me. Turmeric has been shown to have anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-cancer properties and may be effective in treating a variety of health conditions, including arthritis, depression, and heart disease. Whatever. I'm sure that's true. It's just good stuff. It's good stuff, this Magic Mind stuff. So I would just recommend it. Let's look at what we've got going on this month. Oh shit. All right. New discount code. It's only available to the first 10 users with a 40% discount. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the first 10 people that use this code will get 40% off if you want some Magic Mind and travel with some focus. So go to magicmind.com/freestyleshow40 and use my code freestyleshow40. That's redundant, but I guess that's what makes it easy. So magicmind.com/freestyleshow40 with the code freestyleshow40 for getting 40% off your subscription. That's available for the first 10 orders. That stuff's really good, y'all. I'm stoked. I haven't been able to try a lot of it lately because I've been on the road, but literally there's a stockpile waiting for me when I get back to the States, and I'm not lying. I'm actually excited to drink the hell out of it. And they don't mention, I don't think they mention it in their official, I'm going over the time. I don't think they mention it in their official stuff here, but they've mentioned making cocktails out of it, like a mojito, a Magic Mind mojito. Dude, do you know how stoked I am to have a Magic Mind mojito? Like, that's legit. That's drunk, super uninhibited focus all the way. Anyways, all right, let's get into Georgia. We'll get to Georgia. Let's get into Turkey because I got some good stories. Let's just jump right into it. And I got some trip hopping news for you at the end. So dig in for the whole episode, y'all. All right. So yeah, one of the last episodes, I was in Cyprus having a really productive time with trip hopping. You guys, if you haven't gotten on trip hopping, just do it. Yet I opened it up the last episode to everybody. So go to triphopping.com, sign up. Just fucking do it. Go to triphopping.com, create an account, and start trip hopping. Follow me right away. Once you sign up, you can, on the bottom, it's not super obvious, but you can swipe up the bottom panel to open up the map, and you can see everybody who's live, and I'm always live. So you'll see me. If you don't see me right away, just right now I'm in Georgia by Turkey, and follow me. And yeah, you can just follow me along in my travels, and if you follow me, I can follow you, and I can see where you're going, and ride shares and couch surfing kind of shit will be really cool. And whole point of couch surfing will be to link up with people and fucking drink beers and shit. So just goddamn do it. Like, why the hell not? I spent a lot of time making this shit so we can drink some beers. So do that, and you'll see that I'm in Georgia, or it depends on when you're listening to this. But last episode I was in Cyprus working on that shit, making that code work so we could drink beers together. God damn it. So that was last episode in Cyprus. My ex-step grandma lives in Cyprus, so I was staying with her. And yeah, life was easy. And decided to go to Turkey. I was looking at all my options. Cyprus is an island to the south of Turkey, so there's only so many options. You know, it's either like find somebody with a boat or get on a plane. Yeah, that's kind of it when it's time to leave. And I was thinking about Thailand, I was thinking about Philippines and that sort of area. I can't go back to European countries, Schengen countries because of the visa. And then I saw, shit, there's like a $30 boat ride, ferry, to Turkey. So I was like, all right, that's like the cheapest option and also kind of interesting because I've only been to Turkey once before. Hitchhiking from Romania to Istanbul to see a good friend, and didn't get that far east. So I was like, all right, that seems like one of the better options. Not as rainy as Thailand this time of year. So yeah, settled on that. Booked the ticket. I will say the ferry ride was kind of a shit show a little bit. It's like you show up to the port. I showed up to the port, and I gather this is more than just my experience, just from talking to people. I'd already booked the ticket online, but I had to go there and go to the ticket office, blah, 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 grab the ticket. Dude, just wait in line for hours. Just like finally go through security, finally get on the boat, sitting on the boat for 2 hours later than it said it was going to take off. Like, it's not a big deal to me. I'm just bringing it up to anyone listening who might get on a boat from Cyprus to wherever, Turkey. And I knew I was going to get to Turkey a little bit later anyways, so I'd gotten in touch with a couchsurfing host, which I'll tell you about. I'm super stoked about, actually. The Trusters host that I stayed with, who was fucking awesome. Him and his wife and kid, all of them. But I knew I was going to get into the port I was getting into late, so I told him the next day, because I knew I'd have to hitchhike to where he was. Anyways, a little bit further than where the port was. So anyways, I get on the boat, it's just like epically long, and no one seems concerned. So that's what makes me think this is just standard for the course. Like, the boat's supposed to leave at 2. We didn't leave till like 4:30. 6 hour, 7 hour ride. Anyways, we get to Turkey just shy of midnight on this ferry. So I pop off and just start walking. I sort of scouted out the place, saw there's a beach where I can maybe camp. 30-40 minute walk to the east. So I did that, walk to the east. Sure enough, I found a place to camp. A little patch of trees, bunch of dogs barking. Yeah, woke up early the next day just because the dog was barking directly at me. It's probably a local dog who's just like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Like in the woods. And I'm like, "I'm just camping, bro." So I woke up, scared the crap out of him, and yeah, took like an hour to walk to the actual main road, which was nice though. Actually, the first half hour, I was sort of surprised because I was up early, and by early I mean like 6:30 a.m. And I walked along the beach, and the beach was, I kind of want to say, packed. A lot of people, over 100 people as I walked along the beach. 6:30 in the morning, a.m. It's like, God damn, all right. So walked along the beach and just dug all these people and, dragged my feet through the water and whatever, and finally took the right turn to get up to the main road where I could properly start hitchhiking. And yeah, started doing that, heading basically towards Mercine. I had this couch surfing host I was excited about. Trusters.org is where I found this guy. And yeah, he mentioned he had a wife and a kid and a little spot. But he mentioned he was into coding and stuff. Me with the trip hopping thing lately, I was like, that'd be cool. So I start walking, and I recently met some people there. Just like hitchhiking in Turkey's kind of like a cheat code. It's so easy. So I had that in my mind, but I gotta be honest, I fucking walked for over an hour, maybe 2 hours. Just like, no, maybe that first stint was only like an hour. Finally got a ride, but the ride was short. Not 20 minutes, 15 minutes up the road. And then it was probably the long wait. Yeah, and that's when I walked for, that was like an older guy, didn't speak any English, which is, whatever, it's fair. I'm South Turkey. Why should they be speaking English? And I just walked. And I guess it's strawberry season, so I was walking past a bunch of strawberry carts. One guy was just like, gave me a strawberry and gave me a cup of water. He spoke a little bit of English, just enough to say, "What's up? How you doing?" And just walked and walked some more, and finally got a ride, a little bit. That was cool. And walked a little bit more where they dropped me off. And then, yeah, finally got the ride heading kind of to the town where Buddy was at, and just walked like an hour from where they dropped me off to get to his place. And this is like near Mercine, so this is South Turkey, and gotta be honest, it's like this time of year is super fucking hot, but also just like, dude, the whole skyline was just like 15-story buildings. 15-story residential buildings. I'm like, God damn. What's funny is that I texted Buddy, and I was just like, Owner is his name, and I was just like, dude, I'm here. He was real communicative. This guy was awesome. Not only was he awesome, but he's also like a good host, which includes being communicative and stuff. And so I texted him. It's like, oh, I'm here-ish. I'll be there in like an hour. And he's just like, oh, purple building, blah, blah, blah. And that purple building anecdote, like, I'm telling you, this skyline is just all 15-story buildings, residential buildings. Like, that purple building finally just like popped up. I was like, oh, there it is. Yeah, I got there, and yeah, this guy's a sweet place, and met him, and instantly he was like in meetings or something, and just whatever, and it's like, you probably want to take a shower. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, hot as fuck, just layers and layers of sweat. And I took a shower and got out, and his wife was there afterwards, and met her, and she was cool. And a little bit later, their kid showed up, like 4-year-old, something like that. Met her, and he says she speaks better English than him, which might be true. I don't know, but it's kind of funny. Kids, fluent, watching cartoons and stuff. But yeah, she was super cool. So yeah, hung out, and I think I figured I would stay there for like a night or two. I think I ended up staying for like 3 or 4 nights with them, just because they were super cool. He was, like I said, just like an epic host as far as being communicative and knowing how the vibe goes, but also just like a friend, you know, like this is someone who's going to be in my life hopefully till the end now. Like, you know, you meet people like this. Super cool and into programming and stuff, so just like bonding over that and talking about stuff and showing him trip hopping, and he instantly signed up for a trip hopping account and went live, and just like, and we're just talking about different ideas and stuff. So really enjoyed that. That area itself kind of lame, to be honest. Like, whatever, it's cool, it was on the coast, but like not much going on. Like I said, it's just a bunch of like apartment fucking buildings, and so me staying there for that long was just purely just because of them. Super cool. Met his parents, went and had some kebab and stuff. Like, I don't know, my experience with that usually is just going to like dinner spots and stuff around Europe or wherever you get the kebab, but it was cool just to like basically have these swords wrapped in meat that you put over the fire of coals that you start, and yeah, we just had some really good food, and everything about hanging out with him and the fam was fucking awesome. So yeah, time came to go, and for me, going was just like, I want to go to Georgia. I'd never been to Georgia. I'd never been to all these parts of Turkey either. My thought was like, let me head to Georgia, and just logistically, from a U.S. passport point of view, if you head through Turkey to Georgia, with a U.S. passport, you don't need a visa. You can just show up and they'll let you in. They don't want you to stay more than 90 days, whatever. Armenia is on the border right there. Same thing. I think 90 days. Russia is to the north. More complicated. Azerbaijan, $20 online visa, and what I've learned actually is that I think all the land borders are fucking closed. I didn't know that till just a couple days ago. And then Iran and Iraq, also complicated. So I'm putting that in perspective to say I was going to go there, which is kind of like a dead end, and the dead end is Georgia, Armenia, and possibly Azerbaijan. But I was like, maybe I'll go there and then turn back and whatever, see what happens when I turn back. No time frame, and I'm still in that mindset. No time frame. Not sure what's going to happen. So, but that was my thing. I was just like, all right, I'll leave the south of Turkey with this fucking awesome couch surfing host, and head towards Georgia, which I've heard good things about. Shout out to Molly telling me about it. So I left his place, and he had told me about Cappadocia, which I guess is like probably pretty famous or something. I didn't know that. He's like, Cappadocia is a part in the middle of Turkey, which is like pretty cool. You might want to check it out. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put that on the radar first. So stepped out. Anyone listening in the US, it's like 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyone listening around the world, I don't know, it's like close to 40 degrees, high 30s or something. It's fucking hot. But I'm just like hitchhiking through it, whatever. And I'm a little bit like, this is a little bit slow getting there hitchhiking. So I'm hoping that's not the case. And shit got faster. So I hitched a ride from some dude pretty quickly. And then a couple guys, and then I was heading north. Boom. And I got a ride right away from a mechanical engineer. This guy's fucking awesome. This guy, as soon as I get in the car, he's just like doing a kebab. Basically a fucking burrito sitting on the dashboard. He's like, I got 2. I thought I was hungry. Thought I was hungry as fuck. Turns out that shit is huge. I could only eat 1. And he literally Google translated. He spoke a little bit of English, but we mostly talked to Google Translate. He's like, Fate. You got this fucking doona. I was like, fuck yeah, Fate. That was awesome, dude. I'm hungry right now. I think that's why I'm excited about the food part of it. But yeah, I was like, fuck yeah. So I got in there and I'm just like chowing this food, and he's just telling me about mechanical engineering through Google Translate. He's handing me the phone with videos. He made like a chessboard that lit up liquid based on how much liquid was in there, based on the gravitational force of liquid. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, this is awesome. Cool ride. I wish we could talk even more, not just through Google Translate. I don't even know where he was going, but he was taking me. I rode with that guy for like 2 hours. Dropped me off, gave me a bunch of plums and stuff when he dropped me off, or whatever it was from his property. And then, yeah, caught another small ride, and then some guy going to Cappadocia who lived there. And that guy was just driving me and just excited and taking videos and video chatting with friends, just like, oh, I got an American. I was like, all right, cool. This is cool. And then he said he lived in Cappadocia. And like I said, I was ignorant. Still ignorant about Cappadocia. I thought, I didn't know if that was a town. It's a whole region. So, a whole region. It's like, yeah, it's a whole area. So, he's like, do you want to go to the underground city? I was like, that's a yes, dude. That's a yes. Like, underground city? He's like, I'm going to drop you off there, the underground city. I'm like, all right, let's go. So, he drops me off at a roundabout. And then I started just walking. He drove off. So I started walking towards whatever this underground city is. And at first it's just a shitty sidewalk and blah, blah, blah. And then finally I start getting in, and then some dudes are like, you're American, you're a killer. And I'm like, you know, just some guys sitting on the side of the road, probably drinking booze or something. Turkish guys, I don't know. I'm like, American killer. I'm like, all right. And then finally I get to the very center, and it's just like, they want a bunch of money to go drop into some underground city. And let me tell you right now, this might have been the coolest underground city there is. But people were trying to sell me shit as I was getting in there, and I just get turned off. So I said, fuck all of this. I was not into it, dude. As soon as people just start trying to sell me shit, and I just feel like this is just like a town for selling people stuff, I'm just like, no. You howl, dog. I don't know if you hear that dog in the background. So I don't know, I was just turned off. So I didn't even look at the price. It might have been $1, it might have been $30. But whatever the cost was to go into the actual underground city part, I was just like, nah, dude. I don't trust you guys. I don't love it. Maybe later in my life I'll be, I don't know, lazy and go there. I was just like, nope, not gonna do it. So I walked out of that center part. More people tried to sell me fucking Russian dolls and other bullshit. I was like, I think I made the right decision. So I went into some stupid grocery store. I had a pile of Turkish lira. Got an iced tea. I was just like, I'll keep it moving. So that's what I did. I kept it moving. Walked out of that fucking town, little tourist town, and hitched a ride. Got up north a little bit, and yeah, I ended up just camping on the side of the road. How's that for a tourist story? I went to that famous underground city place, and instead walked to the road and hitchhiked the fuck out of there. That's what I did. And yeah, I'm like, I'll just keep going north the next day. So yeah, that's what I did. 6 rides that day. Anyone keep a track? Got 6 rides. So I woke up and yeah, I was like, all right, let me get to the north. Georgia on my mind, kinda. Because my thought was, anything I see here in Turkey, I'm going to be coming back the same way, probably. It's not guaranteed. But I was like, that's kind of lame. But it got pretty good the next day. So I woke up, didn't start hitching right away, and walked towards the next town, into the next town. And then I got to a cliffside, and holy shit, man, that's fucking awesome, dude. I looked at the cliffside, and there's a bunch of like doors and windows built into the cliffside. Like, I posted on Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, it's at @hobolifestyle. Fucking cool, man. Like, really cool. Like, yeah, just like all these like doors and windows, like houses built into the cliffside. And I don't know if this was historic. This is just me being an ignorant piece of garbage, but I don't even look it up. I don't even look up what's going on. There might have been, this might be active, or this might be places where people lived 1,000 years ago. I'm like, this is unique. Super cool. So I hiked down into this little valley to see more of it. I saw some foxes running around, thought about my uncle a little bit. It's a little personal story, and it's just like, man, this is fucking cool. So I walked through this little valley of just like, it's hard to explain. You gotta look at the pictures. Either go to my Instagram on Hobo Lifestyle, or just look up Cappadocia cave shit and it'll pop up. But just like smooth white round caves looking like melting ice cream, rock walls in a valley with dwellings built into it. And that's kind of the score for the next, I don't know, I ended up walking for hours just through a built up town, and that on the right, just checking that out. Pretty cool. And yeah, there's parts where it was like, oh, people live here. There's like laundry hanging out. And there are other parts that like, probably no one's lived there for 1,000 years. Like, I might have walked through shit that I had to have paid for and just sort of snuck into accidentally. I don't know. It was very, very cool. So Cappadocia. Yeah, so I walked, I don't know, many hours through all of that, just checking it out. And finally I was getting to the edge of it, and that was wearing off, and I was like, all right, let me keep it going here. So that's what I did. I got a ride from some guy who gave me I gave him a US quarter, because he was just like, give me something, something. I was like, fuck, what can I give this guy? And I was like, oh shit, I got a fucking quarter buried in my backpack. So I gave him, he was so stoked. He was so stoked. I gave him like a US quarter. And then he gave me a coin from Ghana. He had no idea what it was. He's like, what the fuck is this? I was like, dude, it's a coin from Ghana. I've never seen it either. You can figure it out. Let's chill though. So yeah, I did that. And yeah, just kept on walking. Eventually camped. Sorry, I'm just like looking at my own notes here. It's like so many rides in a day. I think I got eight different rides that day, just like hitchhiking. That was after all the hiking through the shit. Oh yeah. I remember walking through this town and just like, yeah, eventually just camping again in a random spot. So the next day I woke up and got going. Found just a road, really, and that was kind of magic. As soon as I got to the road, I kind of like camped on the other side of this like fence. But yeah, literally I walked to the road, rubbed the sleep out of my eyes, same bald fist turned into a thumb that I stuck out into the road, and the very first car stopped and picked me up. Fuck yeah. Dude in his 20s, minimal English, like no English. Yeah, pretty much no English. Yeah, I think none. Maybe not even hello. That's less than minimal. No, I think he squeaked out potato, because he was a potato farmer. So he took me like 30 minutes maybe, and then he sort of signaled. It's amazing how much you can communicate without actually speaking verbally. But he was able to tell me without saying anything, I need to go to the right here. This is my potato farm. If you come with me, I'll give you a bunch of food and I'll give you a ride back to the road. It's pretty cool that he told me all that without saying shit. So that's what we did. He drove me, off the road through this potato farm, and then got to the tent, and then met a bunch of these other potato farmers. And out of the like dozen or 2 dozen, and, you know, sat me down in one of the big tents. This is a big ass potato farm, y'all. Like, acres and acres and acres and acres. Fucking huge. Took me in a tent where they were cooking potatoes and other shit, and gave me a big plate of olives and cheese. And finally, out of like 20 people, there's one dude from Afghanistan who spoke, you know, decent English. So he finally was able to translate and spread the word or whatever. So he was able to ask me questions via other people and let me tell people what was going on. Kind of. So that was cool. Yeah, I got to sit down and eat a fuck ton of olives, a bunch of this cheese, tomatoes, salt, and talk to these people. They kind of offered me a job. If I had had half a mind, I could have pushed it. But he's like, you can stay here for a month and pay you to farm potatoes. So shit, that was almost an option. Didn't feel like it. So chatted with them, and eventually, after like an hour chowing down, the same guy who gave me a ride, we hopped into a different car, and he gave me a ride back to the main road and maybe 15 minutes up to the next little town and dropped me off. And yeah, kept hitchhiking from there. And just to bring it back into perspective, at this point I'm heading towards the north, towards the Black Sea, the north of Turkey. So my thought is I'll head to the north and get to the Black Sea and head towards Georgia, and if cool shit happens along the way, I will accept that cool shit. So that's what was happening. So cruise around, another guy picks me up. This guy takes me to a lake. It's kind of chill. Might have posted that on Instagram too, I forget. It might have just been a story or something. Yeah, he just took me to a lake and kept driving me a little bit. Another couple short rides, but then an 18-wheeler picked me up. He was going all the way to Trap Zone, and Trap Zone was sort of my target on the Black Sea. So I rode with that guy all fucking day. This truck driver, he spoke zero English. We're cruising. Might have taken a nap in his truck. We were kind of riding parallel to a buddy of his, so almost right away we stopped and I got another whole plate of olives and cheese and stuff. Met his buddy. Also driving an 18-wheeler. That's kind of cool. I always thought that's kind of rare. You know, you meet truck drivers who got other friends or buddies who are driving trucks, but it was cool that these two guys were just like on the exact same path. So we stopped like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times, different rest areas and stuff. That first time was the longest time to chow down. But then, yeah, just every like hour or 2 or 3, just stop and whatever. It was fucking scenic as hell. Actually, there's some really nice spots, so stop. And I don't know if this is this truck driver's first time on this route or what, because he was taking some pictures too. He took more pictures than I did, for sure. Just saw some views and stuff, and then finally we got to Trap Zone. I hitched one more ride because it was like 10 miles out. I got to Trap Zone. So Trap Zone, I think that's how the place is pronounced. It was okay. I don't know. It wasn't super. I wouldn't recommend it. It's on the Black Sea. It was my first shot at the Black Sea. It's just like port and whatever. It's like beach. Can you guys hear all this howling? Oh, is this gonna come through? These fucking guys are going off. Jackals. That's what they are. Jackals in the background. Yeah, stayed in Trap Zone for the night. This is like the fuck ever. It's okay. I was excited to get going towards Georgia the next morning. Friend Molly got me excited about Georgia. She was just like, I think you're gonna like it. It'll be cooler as far as temperature wise. She's like, people like Americans there, blah blah blah. So it's like, all right, let's check it out. So started hitching that way. Short rides. I got a ride from another couple guys who were in their early 20s, excited to give me a ride. Went for coffee with them. It's a lot of that. A lot of people in Turkey just like, oh, let's get some coffee. So they were one of them. We went in town and got some coffee. There's a lot of Google Translate. I would say this time around, Turkey was over 50% hit rate with Google Translate. People pulling out their phone and really going for it with the Google Translate app, which is cool. Not using the voice feature, but just typing in shit and going back and forth via that. So kind of crazy. Useful. So yeah, just chatting with them via that, and then they give me a ride kind of back to the main road and hitching towards the border. More short rides. I got a ride from a British guy, UK plates van, just shy of the Georgian border, and he actually took me to the Georgian border. Seemed like a cool guy. I'll probably see him again down the road at some point, it seems like. But that guy, he been driving since the UK. I forget for how long, maybe a month, not 8 months, not a week, probably about a month. And he'd gone to Morocco, and it seemed like his plan was kind of loose, a little bit free, this guy. So he was talking about, he's like, oh fuck, I haven't talked to anyone who spoke English in a long time. He's like, we should hang out. I could tell he was like wanting some company. He's like, I'm thinking about like going somewhere and like hitting a beach and like rinsing off before getting to the border just to look presentable or whatever. But anyways, all of a sudden we wound up at the border, and then he wanted to U-turn and like still do that plan. I was like, I don't know, some like I got that in my head. I'm just like, I'm at the border now. Like, I just want to fucking cross. So I was like, we exchanged WhatsApp information. I was like, all right, maybe hit me up later. So fucking border crossing. You never know what you're gonna get. Turkey to Georgia. So he drives off, and I'm like, all right, I'll go to the pedestrian line, of course, and it seems cool. And then finally I get to the cattle call, where it's just people fucking in there like sheep and cattle, just like, god damn. And I was in that mess for an hour, and you know, it's like a total like mess. Like, there's no single file line. This is not Germany, you know. It's just like just people just like merging in. So it's like, fuck, I gotta adapt to this like man fucking thing for a minute just so I can get up to the line. So finally, I don't know, after more than an hour just like in that mess, finally get out there just so I can talk to a border agent. Not even talk to a border agent, just hand some girl my fucking passport so she can look at it for 2 seconds, ask me for to look into a camera and stamp me out of Turkey, and then, you know, walk through neutral zone, and then getting into Georgia, same thing, but much quicker, much quicker. It's always just kind of funny to me. You walk into at least when you walk into a bar in California, the bouncer's just like, how's it going? Getting in Georgia, I didn't even say a word. Kind of a cute girl, wearing glasses, looked like non-prescription glasses. Like, what are you doing? And just handed her the passport, looks at it, stamp, hands it back, happy days. Yeah, and then I'm in Georgia, new country, fucking A. I'm walking along, get past the immediate border zone, and there's a bunch of people like swimming, a bunch of girls in bikinis, dudes in bathing suits. Found out later it's like one of the premier nice places to swim exactly by the border. I guess the water's real nice there. But my thing is just like, let me get into town. I'd marked a brewery already. So that's what I did. I walked quite a bit. Less traffic. The traffic was trickling in, to be honest. But finally I did get a ride from a guy, a Georgian guy, who'd gone there to swim. And just talking to him, and traffic is slow, you know. We're just like, but scenic, you know. To the left is just all water, coastline. And now I'm in like fucking Georgia. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, figured I'd go to Batumi, the next town, and check it out. And he's like, I'm going just shy of Batumi, which is only like 15 miles, 15 kilometers, whatever you want to put it. But traffic was so goddamn slow. At some point, he got a call from my buddy. He's like, I got a buddy. It's going to be in Batumi. I'm going in. So we did, in fact, go over the bridge and into Batumi, and this guy was telling me just about different foods to check out. He's like, Cali is like this dumpling kind of situation. You're going to want to fuck with that. So I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So we get into the city, and I'm like, I got to go to this goddamn brewery. So he drops me off. I'm like, all right, here's this brewery. Fuck yeah. Because I just hadn't had a good beer in months, dude. Not months, but over a month. Over 1 month since I've had a good beer. Dude, I get to this brewery, and it's all people drinking out of plastic bottles, which is like not a good sign, but also kind of a curious sign. Like, I want to try this shit. And then I get in there, and then I see they got the kenflannery too, which is these big dumplings of meat. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. But then they only took cash. I'm like, God damn it, I don't have that shit. Whatever your Georgian Monopoly money is, I don't have it. Fuck. Oh, man. And we're talking 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, just before or at sunset or something. I'm like, God damn it, dude. Middle of this big-ass city. I've been hitchhiking all fucking week. Just want a beer. And you motherfuckers won't let me just like... Dude, paying with credit cards and phones is so stupid, dude. It is so goofy. It's so funny. I'm like, you can just walk in and just wave your stupid piece of shit phone over a fucking device, and it's just like, yes, you can have beer. No, I was not able to do that. I fucking don't need that much money anyways. Access, even via the phone thing. But no, that didn't work. So I was like, God damn it. So I gotta like leave. So I'm like, all right, now I gotta walk through the city and just like, so many weird pieces of money right now. I'm not super broke, to be honest. I've got over $100 of U.S. money. But no, that's the thing. It's scattered. So I've got like $30 in U.S. money. I had 50 euros, which is quite a bit. Some Norwegian crowns. Over $40 of Norwegian crowns, and then also over $50 in Turkish lira. So actually doing pretty good overall if you add up all that shit. But it's a bunch of shit like in Georgia, because they got their own fucking currency. So I'm like, God damn it. And also I'm like, it's late, so I'm like, gotta find a place to stay. I had looked Truster's hosts and stuff, and no one stood out. So I'm like, I could probably do the hostel thing, because Georgia's cheaper than some other countries. So I'd looked, and there was a hostel for like $4 or $5 or something, $4 or $5, something like that. So I'm like, I can probably do that. But they probably want the real money too. So anyways, whatever, this is getting lame. I found a place that fucking took my euros and turned it into Georgian money. And then I tracked down the hostel kind of place. Went in there. It's just some woman. And she's just like, yeah, give me 25 of the things. Or 20, I don't know. Whatever it was. $5 or $10 for this hostel sort of night. Gave her that money, and yeah, I guess I didn't eat that day. It's it's not super common, but yeah, some days I don't eat anything. I didn't even have a potato chip this particular day. But I did have a beer, so fucking counts. So that's what I did. Because I found her little hostel place. I found a bed and walked around, didn't find any of those dumpling things I was looking for, found a fucking beer. I was like, beer is good. So I came back and I drank that, and yeah, slept in this thing that was supposed to be like a hostel. Hot, sweaty, mosquitoes biting me, and that's what you pay for. So yeah, barely got too much sleep that night, but it rained like fucking hard as shit that night. That British guy actually ended up crossing the border hours later, and he texted me. He's like, "Where you at? I'm at this beach. I'm camping here." And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't stay with him, kind of, because I would have just been like getting fucking hammered in there. It was hammer rain. So I lucked out by being in the hostel, which I don't typically do, but spared me that night. And yeah, my sort of internal clock had me up at 6 or 7 in the morning, and just was like, fuck it, let's keep going. So that's what I did, and that's where I am now. So I trucked along. I was like, I walked through the town, started hitchhiking, and I had trip hopping on my mind, to be honest. Like, people have been signing up for trip hopping and going live and using a bunch of the features that I built and doing stuff. And I got so much done in Cyprus as far as making triphopping.com and the app better, and people have been signing up. I was like, I fucking want to keep my momentum going. So I was like, it's kind of convenient that I'm around Georgia. I can maybe find a place to hang around and get some more done. So I had that in my mind, going to Kutaisi. So I was like, let me hitchhike there and see, and there's some people that are interested in what I'm doing right now and maybe helping out with some costs of some things. So I was like, there's some options. So yeah, I walked through the city and started hitchhiking and got a couple rides, and it got beautiful real quick, just going through the mountains, which I always like. And then got a ride from an 18-wheeler who was going to Tbilisi, which is the big city in Georgia. So that was going through where I was going, pretty much a bunch of traffic, bunch of bullshit. And finally got like 10 kilometers south of this Kutaisi city. Hitched one more ride and found a fucking beer spot. Because that's what I do. It was not the best, but it was good. It was relatively good. And I got my first kinkali? The big fucking dumplings they got around here. So I got to this town. I went to this Monk's Door, or whatever this place is called. Got their one little IPA, and it tastes like a slightly sunstruck, delicious West Coast IPA. It's not bad, actually. It's not perfect, but surprising. I was like, fuck yeah. And then I got 5 of these big kinkalis. Kinkali? I don't know if it's kinkali or kinkali, but it's basically like a big dumpling filled with meat, and fucking good, dude. It's so good. And I was so hungry. So I ate those things. And I was like, alright, I'm in this little town. And then, goddamn, I found one of the better hostels that I've found as far as just chilling. Because this place was a few bucks, dude. How much was it? 15 laris. That's the currency over here, laris. It's like Monopoly money, dude. What's that come out? It was maybe $5. $5. To stay in this place. Own pod, totally private. Kind of cool. The guy there is just like, I make my own brandy. It's 1 lari if you want to pour. 1 lari is like a quarter. 30 cents, maybe 40 cents, 20, I don't know. So eventually I got some of his homemade brandy. Pardon. It's like, fuck yeah, that's fucking good. And yeah, just contemplating kicking it somewhere. So that's what I did. I looked into some other spots where I could maybe stay for a little bit longer and chill, and found a spot just outside of the city. The Russian couple was hosting people, and it's like, that looks pretty good, and walked out, got some beer and shit, and hung out. And the next day I had messaged the Russian couple, and I was like, hey, I got this trip hopping thing I'm working on, you think I can come up there? And they're like, fuck yeah. So that's what I did, and that's where I am now. So yeah, woke up in that little hostel in Kutaisi. I went to the grocery store and walked like 2 hours straight uphill in the mountains, fucking little foothills or hills or whatever these are, and got to this Russian couple spot where I think I can stay for several weeks actually, and do some trip hopping damage, and possibly I'll get this paid for, and some stuff. It's a little bit of a weird situation because it's like there's all kinds of people coming to this little spot. So I'm in a tent right now at their spot, but they've got a sort of a dorm room, and they got people coming here. It's like a co-working, co-living spot. There's people from all over. And they're cooking every day, and it smells fucking good. But I can't afford to pay. They want money for the food, go figure. Can't afford to do that. So it's a little bit weird. I've been here for 3 or 4 or 5 days now, just like smelling this good food, and was like, man, it'd be cool to eat. Just been getting noodles and shit. So I'm here and staying in this tent, and good fucking vibes. Russian couple, the girl, she speaks better English than the guy. They both seem cool. And I've already met some cool people. Right away, there was a girl from the States here when I got here. Where is she from? I can't remember. But she was living in Serbia for a little bit, so she's driving to fucking Vietnam. So she was in the process of getting a 3-day transit visa through Russia. I was like, oh, cool. I figured, you hear all this bullshit. Oh, Russia's at war. And maybe they are, whatever. But I don't know. My stupid brain was just like, oh, they're at war. They probably don't, they don't let people in their country. But they do. It's a big country. There's a lot of fucking shit going on. So that was, I don't know, side note, kind of interesting. It's like, oh, she got a visa, no problem, to drive through Russia. Another girl showed up when she left, who's, I think, leaving tomorrow. That's too bad. Girl from Washington, who's also been kind of nomadic-ish for the last 8 years or something. She's going to Tbilisi tomorrow and flying to Vietnam. But yeah, it's a cool spot. Seems like there's a lot of people coming through. And I'm able to focus on trip hopping and stuff in a cool spot. So that's where I'm at now. I've got a bunch of ideas for the future, but this is the point in the podcast where we slip into the outro and get to that point. So let's do that. Alrighty, so yeah, I'm in Georgia. I'm in this spot. I'll probably be in this exact spot, sleeping in this tent for the next few weeks, maybe. And decide what's next. I have no idea. Well, no, I have some ideas. Just lied. I just lied to your face. No idea. I've got some ideas. But my ideas, I don't know. They range from going to Vietnam, Cambodia, hitchhiking to Armenia. I was thinking about going to Azerbaijan, but I guess all the land borders are closed. But then I heard today maybe one of them's open. Meeting that girl the other day is going through Russia. I'm like, I can go to fucking Russia? I like our Russia idea. Another dude is easily going to Iran. I was like, can I roll those dice again? So who knows? I guess I don't have to decide. That's kind of fun. I'll just figure out what's going on, and just obsess over trip hopping for the next few weeks. So that's what I'm doing. If you're not on trip hopping yet and you've listened to the podcast this far, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. The commitment you made to listen to this podcast. Get on triphopping.com and just sign up. And fucking join the shit and go live. And travel well. And actually, I'll give you access to the Android app if you send me a message. Possibly. Yeah. So I'll be working on that hard, just making trip hopping better, just making it easy to find places to stay and ways to get around, stuff like that. I'm excited about it. Yeah, just talking to more people, meeting more people, things are coming together a lot more, and that's what I want for everybody. Like, yes, I've been on the road for like 17 years, so I've made a lot of connections. I have friends from all over, so it's become easier for me to travel, but I don't want to lose my way, perspective. I still remember what it was like when I first started traveling, and it's still like that for me today. Like, you get to new places, and it's cool to have resources to find cool shit. So let's make it cool for everybody. Just want to mention Magic Mind again. They were cool enough to sponsor this episode. They didn't really give me shit, to be honest. Like, fucking Magic Mind. Like, yes, they're a sponsor. I guess it's cool. Like, I just like them. I wouldn't be bringing them up if I just didn't like them. So I would check it out if I were y'all. That Magic Mind stuff. It's cool. It's good stuff. What's the discount code? It's unique. It's unique. Fucking do it if you're on the fence. magicmind.com/freestyleshow40. And then use the code freestyleshow40 to get 40% off your subscription. That's available to only the first 10 orders. Okay, that's fair. I guess they want you to fucking jump on it. So jump on it. Be one of the first 10 people to do that. Stuff is actually good. I feel fucking good in the morning when I drink some coffee or some Magic Mind. I don't know. Feels like you're getting cruising. So support them. I feel like I should like plug other shit, but I got no other stuff to plug. Just like except for trip hopping. I really hope you guys get on there and just enjoy it and give me some feedback, and we can make it better and better and better forever. That's it. I'm just dragging on. I had some cha-cha. That might be part of it. You know what cha-cha is? Cha-cha is Georgia's moonshine. It's their 60% boozy. So that's it. I gotta sleep. Hope you guys are doing fucking awesome. Goddamn, get on trip hopping. And I will see you down the road. Plans I made, I need a new escape. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big brain.